Good evening. I am Jayaprakash Gupta. Today I am going to discuss the quant section, DI section in the banking and other competitive exams. I have total 16 years of teaching experience in the CAT training and the banking and SSC government job training. So I'll guide you how questions appear and how can be make easier, and I can take you through from beginner to expert level, since I am serial 99.9 percentile cracker in multiple CAT exams. So it's give you guarantee that you won't have any problems from 0 to highest level. Now today's topic I will be covering the time in work. Time in work has primarily two category: the question based on equal efficiency and based on unequal efficiency. Now in every years in all banking exams you have questions from this particular segment, and not only under the quant section but in mains exam generally there are lots of questions from DI. So you have this section in DI as well, means you have question of time and work through DI as well. So I'll take you through actual SBI PO question that appeared latest in 2019 through this particular topic, both in quant and how the question has been turned up in the DI section. First, just we have to understand the brief idea, then what is this topic all about and what are the basics. So as we know that equal efficiency something like we can compare with that men, those whosoever are working, they have equal capacity to work. Let's say there are 5 men, so each 5 men is equally efficient. No one is doing lesser or greater work in a particular unit of time. So generally questions are defined something like that. Data is given in terms of men, like 25 men for example, right? They can do a work in 30 days or certain hours, sometimes hours is not given. So this man is category of efficiency, and D is obviously days is something time. And another category we have that unequal efficiency type, like A can do a work in 20 days, B can do in 30 days. So approach to solve this question is, in equal efficiency we can equate work with M1 D1 H1. Now generally you have seen this types of concept in lots of explanation, but here we need to understand the logic behind this as well, because we are not just working for particular question, but we need to understand the whole logic and the basics fundamental, so that we can crack every level of question, not only easy question but difficult question as well. Similarly, we take LCM in another category, like when unequal efficiency is there, so we take we assume work as LCM of work, so that's a different category. In today's session primarily we will covering this particular category, the question related to equal efficiency. So whether we are going for equal efficiency or unequal efficiency, there is one basics relation that is important for all time and work question, and I hope you understand this relation: efficiency into time equal to work. Efficiency into time equal to work. And what is efficiency? Something we do per unit of time is called as efficiency. For example, let's say you solve 10 questions per day. So something you do per day or per hour, that is what efficiency. And let's say to complete a project you take 5 days. Now we can easily comprehend 10 questions per day and we complete our project in 5 days. So if we multiply these two, we have 50, means project is of 50 questions. So there is a relationship between efficiency, time and work, and whenever any two part is given, we can find out the third one. Let's say we have to solve 50 questions, right, and we have efficiency of solving 10 questions per day. So 50 divided by 10, we will get that we can do it in 5 days. So in either way, right, whether out of any 3, 2 is given, we can find out the third one. Now here we need to understand their importance. What's the importance? Like Here one more point is also important before we get into the actual question. Time is inversely proportional to efficiency. What does it mean? If we have greater efficiency, larger efficiency, in that case we take lesser time. Obviously it is understood, if you do twice of if you take the help of the person who has twice efficiency, or if you increase the group of person, then obviously we will take lesser time. Now we need to look at some real explanation, real examples, but before going through that, let us understand this concept once more. M1 D1 equal to M2 D2. What is the logic behind this? Here if we have 5%, that means efficiency is 5. Let us say per efficiency for 1% is 1. So for 5% it will be 5. In the second case, if we have 10%, so efficiency will be 10. So effectively M1 is representing nothing but efficiency, and D1 is nothing but time. So let us say if we have 5% and we take 20 days, so it is understood. Then if we increase the person like twice, then we take lesser time. So if we multiply first efficiency, that is M1, and first time, that is D1, right? So we can equate with, because we are doing the same work. If sometimes work is twice, that we can modify accordingly the question. We can make the twice of the first case, but here is simple situation. So work is same, so we can say that second efficiency will be multiply the second time, that is D2. So now I hope you understood why we do M1 D1 equal to M2 D2. And what is the logic of H1? Let us say 10 days, 5 hours. So effectively time will be 10 into 5. So D1 H1 is nothing but combined presentation of the time. D1 H1 is nothing but combined presentation of time. So here more important is that efficiency into time equal to work, and in short we can define this as like M1 D1 equal to M2 D2. And why? Because generally we have two cases, in the case 1 and case 2. If it is happening in case 1, we have to solve for case 2. Now let us go through some real question. This is the basic concept, that's it. All the questions are related to this basic fundamental only. So this is the question. Initially, right, like in IBPS 2011 or 12, we used to have a direct question like this. Now pattern has been changed, so I will take you through the new questions. After this question we will be having actual SBI question. Now let me just solve this question. Here we have information 15 men. If we have 15 men, so men is what? Something efficiency. 6 hours is time, and 12 days is also time. So effectively this 12 will be multiplied by 6, or we can say that M1 D1 H1 means here 15 represent efficiency, that is M1, 6 represent the hours, that is time, and 12 also represent the hours, that is again time. So that is the case 1. Now we are doing the same work, because it is not defined like twice the work or half the work. Had it been mentioned like twice the work, then we would have multiplied the case 1 by 2, but it is not required in here. So same work means we can equate the second case. Now how do we equate the second case? Here what is given? 20 men's efficiency is 20. So D1 M1 M2 will be 20, and 6 days, so D2 will be 6, and hours is required, so we can say that H. Now rather doing the whole calculation, generally we spend lots of time, first we multiply then divided. I recommend in such types of questions, and not only in this topic but other topic as well, calculation will be easier if you cancel out the thing in initial phase. Rather multiplying, focus on the cancellation. So let us say this 6 and 6 common on both sides, so we can cancel it out. Again something more is common. What is common? Here 4 is common in 12 and 4 is also in 20. So 4 3s are 12 and 4 5s are 20. Now 5 again will be cancelled out by 15. So 5 3s are 15. So effectively can we say that this 3 into 3 will be the right side hours. So means answer for this question, it take 9 hours. So I hope you understood this very easy question. I have taken just example, so you can connect the basic concept. Now the real practice begin. that is actual question in latest 2019 paper, right. So let take me through this second question. This was the prelims question. After this we will be also having the mains question, that is in DI form. So first solve the prelims question SBI 2019 and also see the pattern, how it is changing, like what's the difference in the earlier pattern or the newer pattern. So there's not much difference in prelims, but obviously in mains there is lots of changes, but slightly you can say that question has been upgraded. How it has been upgraded? Look at the scenario. 40 men can do a work in 48 days. In second case, it's not like how many days will required for 64 men. They have changed the information, they have modified the instruction that 64 men started working and after X days the situation has been changed. So case 1 is in one part, but case 2 has been broken into two parts. In part 1 there are 64 men, in part 2 32 more men join. So obviously the situation will be different here, but again the basic concept will be applied, that applied what, M1 D1 equal to M2 D2. Now let's take it through this example. 40 men, that is M1, 48 days, that is D1. Now this was the part 1, because from starting to end there are 40 men only, and that's why case 1 will be in one part only. While if we look at case 2, it is broken into two parts. Why two parts? Because initially for X days we have 64 men, but after X days 32 more men join. So now the men will be 64 plus 32. So efficiency will be 64 plus 32, and it takes 16 2 by 3. If you break into proper fraction, something 16 3s are 48 plus 2, so it will be as 50 by 3. So I hope you understood the guys this one, that here case 2 is break it into two parts. In part 1 there are 64 men, in part 2 there are 64 plus 32 men. So whenever the any case is broken into 2 or 3 parts, we will take summation of all work. So this represent the whole work in case 1, this is also the whole work, but in part 1 we have done 64 into X work, in part 2 we have done 64 plus 32, that is 96 into 50 by 3. Here now we need to do some cancellation to make it easier. As we can see, this 96 can be cancelled by 3, so it will be 32. Now we can also observe some common in left side and right side. Remember one thing, in right side we have two parts, so common means it has to be in first part as well as in second part. So if we can see, 48 is divisible by 16, 64 is also divisible by 16, and 32 is also divisible by 16. So if you do the calculation by cancellation by 16, like 16 3s are 48, and 16 4s are 64, and 16 2s are 32. I hope you remember, since there is an addition, so we have to do cancellation from first part and we have to do the cancellation from second part as well. Now if you take it further, so it will be something like that, 40 into 3, this becomes 40 into 3, this becomes 40 into 3 equal to, here this again 4x and this multiply 2, so it will be 2 into 50. So finally we have 120 equal to 4x plus 2 into 50, that is 100, or we subtract 100 from 120, so 4x equal to 20. And obviously if 4x equal to 20, so what will be x equal to 20 by 4, that is 5. So this was a simple question, because pre-level question. In fact, if you compare with the older banking exams, it's slightly moderate. So I hope this question is clear, and this will also help us to solve further mains level question. So now we have actual SBI mains question, memory based questions. Now in DI there is nothing, there is not much difference as compared to quant. However, we have one advantage in DI, we have group of question from the same theme. In generally quant, if time and work one question is given, then for the second question we have different sets of information, right? But in DI, so one particular theme is mentioned, is related to equal or unequal efficiency, it will be same for the second question as well. So here we have the question related to equal efficiency. Now look at the instruction, data below represent number of people required for various projects. So project means something like work, project is something like work. So for project A, B and C, certain variable are used, number of workers is again something efficiency, or we can say M1. This is because situation 1, and days required something time, or we can say D1. And situation 2, again this is efficiency, so this will be M2 and this will be something like D2. Now look at the first question. If 64 people were required for project A, then how many days it take to complete the work? Now here we are talking about project A, so we need to focus on project A only, other projects are not required for this question. Now just look at this information from the first set, like this into this, that is M1 D1 equal to this into this, that is M1 into D2, M2 into D2. Now listen carefully, again rather than doing the multiplication we can cancel it first. So cancel 88 by 11, that is 8 times, 66 by 11 6 times, again further by 2 4 times, 6 by 2 3 times. We can also do the calculation by 22, so 4 times and 3 times. So can we say that if we look at the information from the project A, it will be like 4x equal to, and multiply 3 by x, so 3x, and 3 by 8, so 24. So here we have value of x as 24. Once we have value of x, now we can target this question either comparing with situation 1 or comparing with situation 2. So let us say comparing with situation 1, because work is same. So can we say that 24 into 88, that is what? M1 D1, because now x is defined. This will be equal to, in this scenario 64 people were working, so 64 into D. So in DI, questions are not generally difficult, but sometimes, right, they seems to be difficult because of misinterpretations or not connecting with the data. Now again if you do the cancellation approach, so 8 3s are 24, 8 8s are 64, and again by 8 it will be 11. So clearly we see that value of D will be 3 into 11, that is how much? 33. I hope this is a question, this question is clear too. It's a very easy question, right? If you follow the basic fundamentals, we can solve any level of question, and we can see that this is actual SBI mains question, right? So generally I suggest that this has to be our first approach, right? To have confidence in any topic, right, basics fundamental are very important, and we need to understand logically. So initially you can try in this approach. However, there is another shortcut, and lots of shortcut can be developed over the practice, but all shortcuts are based on certain fundamentals. So this is a basics fundamentals. Now so what can be alternate approach? Now this can be a secondary approach, but primarily this approach has to be clear to you. Like here for project A, days is given 80 days, and situation 2 days is given 66. So we have the information regarding time, and we also know that if this number of worker is something what? Efficiency, and we know that efficiency is inversely proportional to time, something efficiency is work upon time. So if you look at the ratio of time here is 4:3. Generally in this approach I would recommend don't use pen, just look at just data, just observe the data. The time ratio of time is 4:3. So obviously ratio of efficiency or worker would be 3:4. And now this 3:4 ratio, the actual difference is 8. So we say that one part is 8. So 3 part would be 3 into 8, that is 24. And once we have 24, we can directly again equate 24 into 88 equal to 64 into D. So second approach you have to gradually develop so that you avoid lots of calculation and you can do it directly. Right? Now we can try for the next one. This is the next question, again related to, we can say, fourth question, right? So in team P, total number of worker were like this. Here Z and M is not defined, right? And what is the number of days required by team P to complete project C? So we are talking about project C, and project C something Z and M is already given. So now you can try this one, and we can see again like the previous question, M1 D1 equal to M2 D2. So Z square into 75 equal to M square into 108. And again we try to simplify this first. So cancel by 3, it will be 25 and it will be 36. Now can we say that if we divide M square here, 25 will be divided by 36. So Z square upon M square is 36 by 25. Or if you take the square root on both sides, it will be Z by M or 6 by 5. So either we take efficiency 6 and 5, but 6 and 5 is not the exact value. So better to take 6A and 5A. However, it will be cancelled out. Why? Because Z square you have A square, in this case Z and M, again A into A square will be cancelled out. So if you understood this, this will be cancelled out in both cases. It's perfectly okay to take 6 and 5, but until it's not clear, you can start with 6A and 5A. So can we say Z square into 75, Z square into 75, again the case 1, will be equal to, what is being asked, how much time will it take for these persons? So 0.5 Z into 2M. Now we can put the value, Z as 6A and M as 5A, and we also know that 0.5 and 0.2 will be 1, multiply by 0.2 by multiply 0.5 by 2, it will be 1. So we can ignore this 0.5 and 2 because multiplication will be 1. So finally this Z square will be 36A square, 6 A into 6A, 75 is value, and Z will be 6A and M equal to 5A. And we can see that this A square will be cancelled out. In second case, we have to find out the time, days, so we can assume it D. Now again by cancellation, 6 6 are 36 and 5, if you cancel 75 by 5, it will be 15. So our answer will be 15 into 6, that is 90. So I hope you also understood this, and this is again easier question and we must attempt. Guys, you also know the pattern of DI in the banking exam, there where you have 35 question in mains exam and you have 60 marks for that. So among all the 4 sections like reasoning, English and the general awareness, these question has the highest weightage. Why? Because per question you have 60 by 35 marks, 60 by 35 marks. So we can say that something like cancel by 5, 12 by 7. So it's slightly less than twice. while in other areas like in reasoning you have 45 question and 60 marks. So, per question DI section has the highest marks, and for that you have time only 45 minutes. Generally, if you attempt 18 to 20 question with very good accuracy, you have sufficient score to clear the DI section. In fact, you have very good score. And if we follow this approach, we can see that to solve these types of questions won't take more than 1 or 2 minutes. So, we have sufficient time like 45 minutes to attempt 20 questions near about. So, per question we have approximately 2 minutes. However, I would recommend try to solve this question within 1 minute, so that you can maximize your score in DI section, because finally when you have merit all this score will be counted. So, better this score will give you more chances, more probability to get the final selection. Now, look at the next question, and this will be the final question for today's session. Now, look at this scenario here. 0.5 Y people work for project B for 10 days, and after that again 0.5 more people Y people join, means initially there are 0.5 Y, then in the second case you have 0.5 Y plus 0.5 Y, that means total Y people. So, here Y has to be defined. So, first we have to focus on Y, and obviously it is talking about project B and Y is mentioned in project B. So, first we need to look at this information. Now, I hope that all of you must be comfortable what to do, and as you rightly observe, this Y into Y1 will be equal to second scenario situation 2 Y plus 6 into this one. So, can we say that if you multiply here Y with Y, it will be Y square minus Y. In the second case, if you remember A plus B and A minus B is A square minus B square, otherwise you can do the proper multiplication, plus 6Y and minus 6Y will be cancelled out. So, you have directly Y square minus 6 square, that is 36. Now, again y square cancel out. So, we can say that Y is 36. So, once we have value of Y is 36, now we can apply in this question. How? In the situation 1, this will be 35. So, 36 into 35 is the work according to situation 1, and the same work has to be done by 0.5 people, 0.5 Y people, means half of 36. So, 18 people initially for 10 days, and after 10 days let us say we take D days more, and as we also did in the question 2. Now, situation 2 or part 2, second scenario where question is being asked is break into two parts. In first part there are only 18 people, and second part there are 18 plus 18, that is 36 people. So, can we say that if we take D days and again try to cancel out the things, if we observe like 18 is common in left side as well as right side. So, cancel 18 here, cancel 18 here 2 times, and cancel 18 here again 2 times. So, this will be like this, 2 into 35 equal to 10 into 10 plus 2D, or 2D equal to 60, or D equal to 30. But here we have to be careful, 30 is not the right answer, because here D we taken the extra days, and extra days is 30, while question is asking how many days will it take to complete the project B. So, can we say that it is a 10 earlier plus 30 later, total 40 days. So, answer will be 40 days. So I hope it will help you to clear your exam, and obviously it will benefit you in the time and work topic. Thank you guys. Thank you.